you, baby, for pumping for me right when I show up on the game. Sign up to Bitcoin Las Vegas. You will not regret it. It'll be absolutely amazing. Bitcoin Las Vegas. Hit the QR code today to sign up under my link. I gotta see you there. We're gonna party like it's 1999, baby. But it's gonna be 2025. Only you can be there with me. You can do this. Bitcoin Las Vegas today. Jump on in, make it happen. Meet your tribe and stay alive. With the lifers in Vegas at the Venetian. We're gonna take over, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting times of the weekly candle as we approach the moment. Sam Price about to make it. Sam, how you doing? What do you mean? It's me you're talking to. I know, but how you doing? Well, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, life is all right. I had good fun with my kids. It's good to hear, Sam. It's good to hear. I can't wait to see your show later. Thanks. This is kind of awkward though, man. Like, you're talking to me. I know. You're a cool guy. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit. But you're me, man. This is awkward. Saying one more thing about my timer, Crustin. You're getting. I'm gonna have to. Don't make me say it. It's a Bitcoin pumping. I like that. My name is Sam. Sam I am. I like green candles and ham. It's a Sammy Twofer special out here. And you're right. It really is, man. And we nailed it again with the long, man. They call me Sammy Long, Sammy Gaines, Sammy Bull. However you want to call it. Sammy put green pepper in your sauce over here. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lover Show. Can I get a round of applause, please? Let's go! Yes! Yes! Feels good to be here. Woo! Ow! Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and back to... We do it every single day, baby. A little too much light shining over here. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Liver Show. Shout out to Sean, Rave Song Records, Metallica, all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Wow, Nigel Newman, we love you. Noah Brown, we love you. Jeffrey Anderson, we love you. David Roy, you make the show happen, each and every one of you. Bass Crouton, you're so funny. I love that. Just like Boss Rutan, but Boss Crouton. That's so funny. I love it. Shout out to Rave Song Records in the house. He's like, no, that's my real name. It's Boss Crouton. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. We love you, Lakochi. God bless you, man. Your family and everybody, Lakochi. Thank you for all your hard work, man. I love you, brother. GF Burke in the house, always holding me down. Jay Charles in the house. Greg Novak never missed a day. Du Tang in the house. Crypto Server never missed a day. Robert O'Connor. Matt Vieno, Modern Sword, man. I love you, brother. Modern Sword, OG. OG. Shout out to Mystic Flowers in the house. D-Gen Friend, J Lash, and my whole crew, man. 86,500 for BTC. And if you were on my live stream this morning, we talked about booming along here, and this thing was coming out of a bit of a shoulder, head right shoulder. We were above the 2 hour on the 1 hour time frame, above the 200 MA, and did we get that move to the upside? We did. And so far, that 1 hour careening after a bit of a flag. We talked about a flag, and I said probably by tonight, the flag could pop if we get near the 21-day moving average. It's kind of exactly what happened. And we got to move to the upside. I put out a trade to the trading group right before it started to make a pretty big nice pump to the upside here. And if you're in the group, we just talked about just this flag here too. Entering at 85,000 forward. It's not huge, but it went up to $86,000. But there was an earlier pump I put out yesterday when the 5-minute time frame was going to break the 200 MA. And boom. And look at this. I mean, you remember I said today on the live stream we would be in this green box, right? That was a kind of an idea. That was just my joke, right? Or my fun little thing. But I mean, look at the flag, look at this, and we boomed right to the measured move of this flag, almost to the T. And earlier this morning, I basically said, let's take some profits. We got into the trade when we cracked the 2 hour. I saw my model last night on the 5-minute time frame. Let's just break this down. So I saw my model last night on the 5-minute time frame, which is when we break above the 200 MA. We made a flag. They did kind of bring it down, hung out right here, got back above it. Keep the stop a little lower than I should each time. That comes back up, get into this flag if need be. You can also get into I think we cracked the 7-minute 200 MA a little later than that right here. But what this ended up doing was making a little bit of this, see? You can look at it this way too. Anyway, once it really got above the 5-minute 200 MA, it was gone, as we say, and there was a huge pump, which continued to the upside. Then we even looked at this flag. If you saw this morning, I don't know if you remember, but this morning I put out this call here on the live stream. I took profits in front of everyone on the scalp, right? It came back down, but that trade's still valid. I put this flag out on the live stream this morning if you are watching my stream. And what I love about my strategies is people try to play me. They try to say this and that about it. They'll try to call you out if you're a lifer. I don't know if they do, and they can't. And then you're like, but he did it live. Like, that's the flag. That's his strategy. He shows it to us live, and then it happened live. And the guy's pretty spot on, and he's not hiding anything from you. And if you want to join his trading group, it's there, and he works every single day, and it's up to you if you want to keep getting paid. Hey, paisan over. Hey. So anyway, on top of that, we saw this flag. I saw this flag starting to form. You see this right here? I started drawing this out because it just, started. And I even said, watch this thing. And look, I mean, the measured move was the length of this pole. That thing just banged on him, and it's pumping as we speak to the upside. I'm still inside this long. That's ripping. I can move the stop loss to break even too on this extra scalp I had open. Man, and we're starting to get a nice pump further to the upside here for Bitcoin. Unbelievable time to be alive. 86,200, massive short squeeze. Just as I come on, we start to pump. Look at the green candles getting it busy for BTC. And it's a beautiful thing, man. This is awesome. So Bitcoin pumping. And again, let's not get our hopes up and get too emotional. But hey, I called along on the weekend, which never happens. I would say stay away. But my trade, what I did is I played my model. The 5-minute got a I played. See, I did what a trader should do. I did exactly what I always do. I do what exactly the charts tell me to do. I wasn't emotional trading. I wasn't chasing. My model is to get above the 5-minute after a bullet. Number one, after a bullish div. Let's go back in time. Hold up. Let me show you something here. First of all, let's talk about the 1-minute time frame. So the 1 minute will have a dump. Okay. And the 1 minute had this dump. And you'll get a beautiful divergence. And there was it. That's your liquidation event there. Got kind of an inverted head and shoulder. Then the 1 minute, we traded this too, if you remember. I scalped this in front of everybody. Ended up just selling right there. I think that was on Saturday morning or Saturday night I scalped it. I think that was Saturday night I scalped that too. Pretty sure I did. Was that, yeah, Saturday night? Yeah, exactly. Saturday night I scalped this live in front of you all from 20 to 2021, 8 to 9:30 right there. It was towards the end of the stream. I made this trade right here in front of y'all. I don't know if you remember, but again, it was just getting into a flag above the 200 MA. Simple stuff. It's really simple stuff that I do. It's just so insane, and people think it's like, wow. And I'm just like, okay. You know what it is? It is wow, because when you're a simple guy that can pull off a simple task over and over again, it's genius. Because most people, their heads are running around like this, and their focus is like this, and they just can't see the world in this, or they want to be concise and focused, but the world gets them just agitated, twisted, emotional. They lack control over themselves completely, and they are unable to pull off, even though the strategy is right there in front of you, unable to pull it off. Get cold feet, or don't believe in themselves, or stall out, or constantly have fear, or sell too early, or move the stop loss up just right into at the second time. Anyway, and that's going to happen. I did that for years until I learned my lesson. So I wasn't always a rock star, and I'm still not. All right? I just think I am. So anyway, I was writing that one. I wrote that one last night. I think it hit pretty good. Okay, so Bitcoin. Can it get all the way to 86,177? Wow, this thing hit the target and more. We're mooning as we speak here for Bitcoin. Futures getting up to 86,240. We're starting to rip to the upside. I like what's happening. Sam's the type of guy that have his wife sit in the back for better weight distribution. Hey, watch what you're saying there about weight and wives. You may not want to, I would teach you not to say anything like that. Because someone just might interpret it the wrong way. And hey, it might be the wrong guy over here. You don't want to do that to the wrong guy at the wrong time, because you never know. I don't know. Hey. Back off, Tony. Back off. He was just joking. He didn't mean nothing by it. What do you mean? He said my wife was weighty. He said if she was in the back that the car would, she was, I don't know. Was he mentioning that my wife may have been somewhat obese? May have been what you were saying? I'm not sure. How were you talking about my wife? Could we discern? May we elaborate more? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right, so nice move to 86,227. And man, I mean, is there more coming for Bitcoin? Out the flag to the upside. Sammy banged on him to the upside with stop loss at break evens. This little flag did damage after we took profits here. Got back inside, nailed it. Nailed it. This is BITUNIX. I love BITUNIX. We're getting the volume up on BITUNIX, so that's the idea, you know. The coolest thing about BITUNIX is how you can get into a trade, the take profit and stop loss, enter right here immediately, and then you could just drag them wherever you want. Right now, say I want to drag that there. It'll change it to all. I could drag it up further. Oh, it even split it. And it'll take over this one. I believe I can cancel that order if I want. I keep the other one up. You can move your stop loss, which is at break even now, but you can even, you can do whatever. It's just seamless, and it's always there. Drag and drop scenario, absolutely love it on BITUNIX. So I trade on BITUNIX, I trade on weeks, and I trade on MEXC. So let's do what we got to do. Every single week, we break down Bitcoin. And the weekly candle close. Every week I do that, and every week I really feel like it pushes all the negative energy out of my soul. I don't have much, but if it's there, squeeze it right out. Today I got onto one of those river boats near Mayaca State Forest on the Peace River, and we and my family went on one of those river boats. It was it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely amazing. Have you ever ridden one of those? Like in the Everglades? We were just on like a lake, a little like river, but it was awesome. And we saw crocodile after crocodile. No, alligator after, yeah, we saw gators. We saw alligator after alligator. Gators, bear. All alligators. And so cool, man. I thought he was saying, go. Let's go. Sam the man. Rave Song Records in the house. So we have an oversold stochastics RSI on the weekly. Let's break it down. A beautiful weekly close, number one. We closed into position, right? We closed into position. Like we drove into position as the weekly closed. That's a strong move. And you can see our weekly for the next week already beginning. Remember the last time this week went like this and then this week started, and I said, that's not a great sign. I said, we might just eat this whole week alive. He said, because we started the week red. Now, this week's already starting green on the open. We'll see what happens. So, when I bought a whole Bitcoin at 84,000, did I call the bottom? I'm already up $2,000, and I bought a little more down at 81, 82. I won't specify exactly, but I bought, my group knows, and on a private little sesh kind of, we know. But and anyway, snatching up BTC on the low like Michael Saylor. If he's buying, I'm buying. That's it. I mean, I don't buy the top like he does, but if he's buying the bottom, I'm buying the bottom. But actually, if I notice big institutions are getting in, I'm getting in. 82,574 was the open for the week. The high was 87,453. Really? Wow. So we went to 87,453. Wow. The low was 81,134. And the candle closed at 86,082 cents at 86,082 and 50 cents. It went up $3,500 on the week, up 4.25%. And like everyone was super bearish. But what a bullish weekly close for Bitcoin. I know someone that wasn't that bearish. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll just show you what I see. And if you watch my macro analysis video, you watch me every single week, and you watch me every other day or every day, you're going to be up to par with what's going down with technical analysis. I'll tell you that right now, on my word, on my life. That's what I'll do for you, is make sure that you are spot on. And when you're talking about technical analysis, everyone in the room, we will shut up and listen, because what you're saying will be spot on, my friends. So let's take a look here at BTC. Swing up to swing up on the weekly. Swing down to swing down on the RSI. That is hidden bullish divergence. Let me say that again really slow. I've said it every day for the last, 2 weeks. Hidden bullish divergence for Bitcoin. Okay? 90% chance you'll break these highs before you break this low. Is what the charts say, is what the analysis says. I've backtested this for years. I've seen it many times. You throw out a Fibonacci retracement onto this, and you get a retracement to the 618 golden pocket. I have deja vu, willy woo of deja vu here, where we wicked almost twice into the golden pocket. Well, we did wick twice into the golden pocket. We had swing up to swing up and swing down here on the RSI, very low stochastics, and this was hidden bullish divergence. I called it out with the right there. At this point, I was well seasoned in this, and this was in 2021. And it's been 4 years now of me. I called the bottom here for Bitcoin. I don't know if you remember, but I found bullish divergence on the weekly, and I went back in time and saw that it was just very rare. There was a trend analysis trick that I also used, and I bought a 19K Bitcoin in front of the world and said, hey, I'm pretty, and I was buying 15, 16.1. I actually tried to get 15.8, didn't catch it in the middle of the night. But I got many at 16, 16.1, 17, a lot at 17, 18, and a whole Bitcoin at 19 in front of the world to prove to everyone that I truly believe that I had called the bottom here at 15.8. Went on multiple technical analysis shows, was interviewed about it, was stone cold, said, that's the bottom for Bitcoin. And I said, because I said, I've backtested bullish divergence on the weekly, and I've seen it only once every 7 years on the Dow Jones, on the S&P futures. I said, this is very likely our bottom for BTC. So again, I can't tell you this is the bottom, but every time I've been inclined to buy a whole Bitcoin, it's been the bottom. And so I've been able to buy the bottom many times. I'm not, again, it sounds like I'm bragging, but if you watch the show, you'll know it's true. And hey, maybe I was right. We already, the fear and greed hit 10 too. When it hits 10, I mean, you don't get 10 all the time. So, and we're already back at 45. I don't know. You tell me. It's up to you. You do the math. I'm just here to kind of present the evidence. You go where you want to go with this. So I'm inclined to have DCA'd into Bitcoin. We may turn around and dump and go all the way down. See, here's the story. As bullish as I am right now, in these crucial times for Bitcoin, what will happen? I love this music. But the idea here for Bitcoin is this. If we go back down all the way to 50,000, 40,000, so be it. I'll buy more. I'll buy another 2 Bitcoin and bring my average to 60K. It'll be fine. It is what it is. I'm not stressing. You see what I'm saying? But if not, I got a holy right where I need it at possibly the last moment in time before a massive pump to the upside. But only time will tell. It is higher in the cycle than you'd want to jump in pretty big. I'll tell you that. But again, I'm not buying 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? That was all done. Need I digress? So, the story is that's hidden bullish divergence on the weekly, low stochastic, and you got a wick to the 618 golden pocket, and I showed you how it's played out before. Doesn't mean it's going to play out again, but I've used this exact model on Bitcoin, and it has served me very, very well. Does that mean it's going to happen for sure? No. I've read Trading in the Zone by a seasoned trader who tells me every trade is separate from the last. One analysis does not convey that another analysis will take place, and it is what it is. So I know that every trade is separate and it's one day at a time, but I will tell you, I got to take the probability. See, as a trader, we take the probabilities. We never know if we're right or wrong. That's not what it's about. It's because we don't care. It's because we're not right or wrong. We're taking advantage of what could be a high probability idea. If it's a high probability idea, we must take it. If it's not, then we leave it alone. This is high probability we could be doing something magical here for Bitcoin. And again, maybe I'm completely wrong, and I don't want to get people overly bullish and, I went all in because of lifer, and then we all of a sudden, we're down here dumping, and you're like, man, that guy's the worst. I'm going to say this one time. I know nothing but the fact of my, not one time, but maybe a couple times, but I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. I have no idea where Bitcoin is going to go. Remember that I said this. But you bought a whole Bitcoin at 84K. Yes, I did. I took advantage of a possible probability in which I saw. It does not mean I knew where Bitcoin was going. Now, if I end up lucky, then it looked like I knew where Bitcoin was going. But no, all I did was play a probability. So, again, it is what it is. It's one step at a time. And we'll take it as such. And, you know, you'll be there with me every step of the way like you've been, and I'll be there with you. And we're going to have a blast on this journey for Bitcoin. What goes down must come up. What goes up must come down. We took a beating. But, you know, a lot of people got crushed, liquidated. They didn't have enough. They lost all their funds. They're gone now. Not us. We didn't get liquidated. We actually took shorts when we needed to, or paused if we had to. And I even made gains on these wicks, you know, even some of the reddest days. Remember, I made some long scalps. It was crazy on whatever pumps we had that day. If we had even the slightest regression up, or, you know. What church we go to in Vegas to pray at the conference? That's interesting. I'm sure there's a bunch, though. Yeah. Let's go to the 3-day chart. The 3-day, getting that bull, and we want that to be a bullish engulfing candle there to the upside. And it's showing signs of strength. It too has hidden bullish divergence, which says that we should break these highs and at least head back up to the resistance at 92,750. 92,400. We have some big resistance. Even now, I call it, yeah, it's 92.5. So we have nice resistance there at 92,500 for Bitcoin. And wow, the 3-day chart's starting to look pretty interesting. And now here's the deal that I've been waiting on. Are we above the 2-day, the daily 200 MA? And we are. And we closed a nice, now the last time we closed the candle, we gave it right back. That was odd. It was very odd. But now we're back in action here. And let's see. And whenever that happens, whenever we close a candle like that, I'm all in. And so I'm in for $100,000 now for BTC. Okay, 1.15 BTC. And I'm up 230 on the trade. We'll see where it goes. I'll go down. This trade has been up and down. It's been all around. We'll see where this puppy heads. We are a little far away for the 21. May take some profits and jump back in. But we'll see. I like it. 222 and 2%. Look at that. 2.2% and 222. That's the way I want to take a picture of that. That's epic. 2.2 at 222. And remember that Solana trade? I don't know. I opened it on the live stream like a few days ago in front of y'all. It's still there. We'll see what happens to it. Might make a couple of G's off it if I let it sit for a month. And again, here's this idea for Bitcoin. You get above the 200 MA and you just put a stop loss on the other side. It's so simple. I do it on the 1 minute, the 1 hour, the daily. And now it's time to do it on the daily. Most people won't have the guts, dude, to put 100 racks like I did, though. But that's it, is what it is. You gotta have the gall. You gotta have it, man. Not everybody's got it. You gotta have the know-how. You gotta have the strength. You gotta have the years to get through the horrible times of trading that you're going to go through, because that's just trading. Then you have to have the ability to push through, the strong mentality, and then you have to have some guts on top of all that. Trading is a culmination of events. I just made 700, bang, 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 86,370 for BTC. And the pump is real, folks. The pump is real. Shout out to my lifers. May God bless each and every one of you. This could be monumental. It was supposed to be monumental here, though, and it wasn't. So I don't want to get our hopes too. Every time I get my hopes up just a little bit, they shatter them. They shatter them. They shatter them. So only time will tell here with BTC. Again, this is a broadening falling wedge. They break out 68% of the time from the deep wedge, you know, and that says you get back up to the high volume node at 105,000, the volume area high here. And then, I mean, there's not much left to break out from. Oh, well, my chubby thumb slips on the keyboard there. And again, to me, it's all about the 200 MA on the daily time frame. It's all about this support or resistance line, too, that was just so, right? It was just like we battled it for so long. Resistance, 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 resistance. Got above it, gave it back. you know, and then the plow back through. But is this sustainable? It is right now because you're above the 21-day moving average. You're looking pretty good. Let's look at our 4-hour time frame. And again, what did I tell you this morning? I said, when the moving averages are tight in the 4-hour, you tend to pump up to the 200 MA. I said this to you. I know you didn't hear me, though. And this is a known model that I take many times. Now, we're very far away from the 21-day moving average there, which tells me that we may come back down and play some games. And there is a resistance on the bigger, you know, on this falling wedge here. You can see. But we've been working our way on out. Can we break through this resistance here that you can clearly see at 86,850 and get on up past the 200 MA on that 4-hour? So the next big move is when the 4-hour breaks above this. If it can do it on a violent move, boom, right? It's going to be a massive short squeeze up into the 90s, 89, you know. Not a lot of resistance once you crack that, right? You can see high volume node, and there's a smooth move right up to this node here, sitting at about 90,000 on the fixed VRVP. And so you can see how clearly that's the next area we're likely to go to, 90,005. We break out with the retest when you touch the 21 on the flag, bang, bang, bang with the low Stokies. And that could be 16 hours from now, even 20, but that would be the play of the play, the move of the moves, the cup and handle of the cup and handles. There was the cup, there would be a handle there, or maybe even a high handle. Boom. And we out the long on the bot. The bot just took profito. And I was thinking the same idea here, right? It was a quick move. And that's likely to come back. But this is a long-term trade. I really want to hold this every time we stay above the 200 MA and only get out if we go below the 200 MA. I'd rather lose 2 racks on this one and stick to the exact sauce that I'm sticking to. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got to just stick to the sauce here. It's not easy to do. It takes time. You got to stick to it. Once you got a model, then you got to work your psychology into the model. That takes some time too, I've learned. But man, once you really have the mindset connected to the model and you've convinced yourself that the model works better than anything else you've done, so you keep doing it, you're just in a great place. It's soothing mentally to trade. Trading actually becomes, actually, instead of being something that hurts and is painful, it becomes like therapeutic. Like you trade for therapy because you have this back-tested model that you've seen so many times and it plays out for you over and over again, right? I find it fascinating. I move that stop loss right there to the wick now. You can't lose. You're just always taking profits over and over again, no matter how much, how little. Stack, 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 stack. Gain, 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 gain. And it's about habitually. See, once you habitually take gains, amen. You are what you do habitually, right? If someone's always late, what are they going to be when they go to pick you up? Anybody? If someone's always late, what are they going to be when they come to pick you up? Anyone out there? Anyone listening? Write down what you think. What do you think? What are they going to be? What are they going to be, right? We already talked about the bottom for BTC and I talked about NASDAQ and the S&P. All right. They're going to be late, man. They're going to be late. All right. They're going to be late. So you are what you habitually do, right? Amen, right? Let's be honest, right? Your habits create who you are. Am I wrong? So here's the deal. If you habitually take profits, you're probably going to be a wealthy person. If you habitually get scared, don't take profits, worry a lot, you're probably going to end up a brokey. I'm sorry, but that's the facts. That's maybe sound one of the rudest things I've ever said on the channel. But man, my dad wasn't nice to me when it came to teaching me how to be a hard man. And thank God he wasn't. If my dad was soft on me, I would have never made it through the YouTube algorithm the way I did and pushed through every single day the way we are. We're doing it right now. Each and every one of you with me, 86,230. So God bless my father, Jimmy Price. I love you, Dad. May you rest in heaven. Amen. God bless you, Dad. I like this poem before him. May the road rise to meet you. May the winds always at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. An Irish blessing. So we get above the 200 MA on that 4-hour time frame, and we get that pump to the upside, possibly a bit of a flag here, and then it's like, man, that's like what Sammy looks for, right? And that's what we'd be going for. Some people would be like fib trading that, or, you know, waiting for a bounce. Maybe even a 786 money printer there is possible on the 4-hour. There's a lot to look at there, but it's definitely a good possibility. But only time will tell. Right now, we got a rejection basically underneath the 200. We're a bit overbought. And we hit the top of the channel, too. You know, you see we hit the top of this channel, so, you know, we could reverse and dump. Some say you're in a bear flag, Sammy. And get ready for the dump in your face. You just can't see it yet. And honestly, that's very, very possible. And, you know, what will happen is we'll lose the 1-hour 200 MA first before anything, and then I'll flip bearish. I'll go to bed at night if we're right near it, and I'll say if we lose that, look for the bear flag on the 5-minute and short it. Right? And if it doesn't happen overnight, I'll be there to see it happen, and I'll put on an update. And as long as we stay above that, then we're not going to dump on the bear flag. So anyone that thinks it's a bear flag and says it's great, we can think that, but we got to see it play out to fruition first, right? Right now, not the case. Right now, in the money. Right now, above the zone. A little far away for the 21-day moving average. I'll give you that after this pump. Definitely a bit of a short squeeze there. We got more liquidity, though, hanging out at 86.4 and all the way up to 87,000. Looks like Bitcoin might want to at least get to 87K before anything else. Look at Big Red up there at 86.5. It looks like it definitely wants to rip to the upside. It's not going to dump before NASDAQ hits the 200 moving average. Actually, I disagree or just covered. You would have made it anyway. RIP to your dad. Bull market over, Sammy. Bull trap, Sammy. Shout out to Renee Montenegro. Hey, honestly, in my lifetime, if I didn't buy when the fear was at 10, it was always the worst move. So I had to do what I had to do for myself. You do what makes you happy. But when this hits 10, I have to get in. I don't have a choice. Okay, we went over the weekly candle close. It's likely we're going to kind of come back down to this 21-day moving average in some way, shape, or form. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just go a little more sideways here, too, into tomorrow, into Monday. Just be very careful. Okay? It just may not go our way here. All right, this got stopped out yet? No. It will, though, in profit in a second. So, yeah, I would look for the 21 to come back to price. And you're very bullish on it. Somehow you make a flag, but it's more likely you make some type of falling wedge, in my humble opinion. But you never know. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm just a technical analyst. But yeah, there's a chance that we kind of stay here, go sideways. We'll look at the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, see how that even wants to come back down to the 21? But I'd be looking, if we're bullish, the 15-minute will make a flag, and we will continue. And maybe into tonight. Asia's buying, baby. Asia wants it. Yeah. Oh, pumps. No. Bang. So look for that to get tight, and then to move back to 80, 88,000 for BTC. But I see sideways price action now for a little bit. If the daily stays above the 200 MA, I stay bullish. All right? That's kind of where I stand. Oh, I love that. See, BITUNIX, I can hear that it hit my stop. Right? So there you have it. Okay. Cup and handle on the 1 hour forming. Shout out to Matt Vieno. Yeah, exactly. There's a cup possible. That's what I see. A handle. The 15-minute might be more aggressive, but I do see something more like this. Exactly. Yeah, spot on, Matt. Yep. Thank you for the 410 lifer likes today, everybody. May God bless each and every one of you. It's very grateful and thankful for all of you to hit that like button. Thank you so much. It's very, very nice of you. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. If you would like to join the trading group where you've been updated on what was happening today and last night, even though I did go live twice, but there was still information that you may have missed, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. And you can sign up to a weekly, a monthly, or a quarterly subscription. All right. It's less than $3 a day. I'm here every single day, nonstop. We search for altcoins, ideas. We have an entire trading group in school inside. And there's even more for you to find out about if you join the group and jump on in. So thank you. I appreciate all the people that did in their lifetime that I was able to help. I hope I continue to do so. All right. Okay. We looked at ZETA chain. It pumped out of nowhere. I wasn't too impressed. Looked like it has to come back. And that was about it. You know, had another kind of lackluster pump there. I mean, I guess after the alert, you had a little movement. But I'd always be looking at it on those bigger time frames. Let's see here. I mean, attempting to get above the 8 hour 200 MA. That actually looks somewhat interesting. So that could pump. The daily's not too bad because it still needs to make that move above the 200. Wow, your 4 hours in a flag and right above the 4 hour 200 MA. I mean, yeah, to me that's actually pretty bullish now when I see it on the 4 hour time frame. Only reason is because it came back to bounce near the 200 MA. Now, if you know how to trade the 200 a lot, you can even get in here with a stop below it, but that's, you know, at high risk after the pump, in my humble opinion. I'd say small time frame, and you can see that the 5 minute is breaking out as we speak. This coin looks bullish. And looks like there's some movement at least up to 37 in the interim, you know, short term here. Maybe the 1 hour consolidates again, but over time, there's a target up to 48, 49, maybe even 50 on ZETA chain. Use the small time frames, never chase big ones, and I always look for flags on the small time frame, but that does look bullish to me. NIL and BNB coin drops tomorrow on all major DEX is going to be a nice project. NIL, thank you. I'll take a look at that tomorrow. Let me write that down. Watch NIL. I need a pen on my desk, man. I just like stickies. With all the new technology, stickies still are the best for me. Right? Let's take a look at Solana and see what's happening to Sol with the nice pump to the upside, 138. You can see it's kind of like an inverted head and shoulder here. Bit of like a symmetrical triangle, almost kind of more bull pennant vibe, but symmetrical triangle. It seemed like it broke out on the trend line. And look at the gap in that VRVP that it's beginning to enter, 143 and then right back to 150. And it's like, you know, everyone's going to be like, but, you know, you were scared. You never know, right? But it's so far, hey, the no panic sell crew still in the house. So. Ada Sam, please. Thank you for everything. Shout out to Ricardo Arcila. Yeah, Ricardo Arcila. Arcila, right? Arcila. Ricardo Arcila. No spam, please, buddy. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano over here. A couple Cardanas. Okay, Cardano. You say Cardano, I say Cardani. I don't say that, actually. I've never said that. It sounds ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. March Madness, baby. Yukon fell off. Almost would have liked to see them win because we beat them twice. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Just for the East. All right, let's take a look at Cardano. We're going to start from the weekly all the way back down into the smaller time frames and break down what's happening. What's happening now? On the left. What's happening now? So we had this like fake out breakout, honestly, that like got the whole market aroused, only to clobber every single, they liquidate, it was a liquidation event. Oh yeah, everyone's just gonna jump on the long train, and they got liquidated. It was crazy. Again, I believe we hit like a 1 hour 200 MA or something like that, right? I remember selling the actual top there, but, and I, you know, on the smaller time frames gave me the signal. When I zoomed out, it gave us the macro, but and that's what happens when you stick to a small time frame regiment. Some days we'll line up to a macro high, and you'll just take the profit like you always do, and you will have sold the macro high as well. It's happened to me many, many times, coincidentally, just from doing what I'm supposed to do. You see, and I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But put a thumbs up if that made sense to you, what I just said. All right. Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of new liquidity coming to the market. Likely a few mild short squeezes, trades that are cross-collateralized, which is correlated. A lot of people like to say what they think is going on and seeming this and seeming that. I never did that, man. I just played the charts one step at a time, one moment at a time. We're above a 200 MA, I'm long. We're not, I'm not long. Like, just very simple stuff. And it's got me through, man. So, yeah, I don't speculate like that. I get you do. I hope it helps. I don't know if it does. For me, I don't do it. Yeah, it just blocks me from the technical analysis. I want to be about a computerized moment in time of what I'm looking at. I don't want to be changing it with human emotions, thought processes, and philosophies. I think that's just a waste of our time. But again, need I digress? Yeah, you do whatever makes you happy. So can we get back above the 200 MA there on the weekly for ADA? That would be huge. Let's go to our 3-day chart. Our 3-day chart showing signs of greenery. Again, very similar to Bitcoin, but more like a head, shoulder, and a right shoulder too. It doesn't look that great. I'm just being honest, like right off perspective. It's not like, wow. Major resistance there at 82 cents too, as you can see. And there's our daily, kind of in that same place and toying with the 200 MA. But almost in a bit of almost a worse spot, like I guess a bear flag too as well. And a big one at that. Which could dump you pretty hard. I mean, that's interesting, right? I wanted to open this bullish, and again, we get above the 200 MA, then we kind of, you know, we could make some type of double bottom movement and get a bump back to the upside. And you'd have to make this a higher low and move on out. Like that would just be it. One thing I did see now that, you know, is possible that like this has kind of got diamond vibes. It's not amazing, but it has some diamond feels and in from the top, out from the top. But it's a bit of a stretch, and it's not amazing, and it's a pretty ugly diamond. But it's there nonetheless, right? Now the daily could get back above the 200 MA. Again, it depends on what Bitcoin does. There's some bullish divergence here, and the 4-hour looks like, hey, just like Bitcoin did, and this could be behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumped up to the 200 MA. That's what we're looking for Cardano to do. So at least in the short term, I could see a pump for Cardano up to the 200 MA, and then there's a gap in the VRVP, which means it may be able to get all the way back up to 82 cents, and then we go from there. So, yeah, I'm a little more bullish on Cardano on these smaller time frames, but they got to show me something sooner. All right? They got to show me something sooner. How long before you decided to mainly trade and not as much long-term hold? I mean, I still long-term hold a lot, though. You know what I mean? I do a little bit of both. But, like, I still technically long-term hold a lot of BTC. Cardano getting a bit of a pump. Looks like it could make a move here. Bitcoin losing 86,000. Not my cup of tea. 86.5. But that looked like it was likely going to happen here for BTC. So we take a look at Bitcoin closely. And what I see happening really is the 1 hour coming back down here to this 21-day moving average. That's just what I see. I can't tell you it's a guarantee and that I know it all. But just like earlier today when I said we'd go sideways towards the 21, same type of scenario here, just back towards the 21 in this way. And then we get the further pump to the upside, right? You think April 4th will have a big impact, a bug impact? I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't really stress any of that stuff either. Yeah, I don't go by that. I just go day by day, chart by chart, candle by candle. Yeah, I don't get into politics. And again, big things should happen if big news comes out, but I'll just be playing the charts that day. If we're above a 200 MA, I'll be long. If I'm in a flag, I'm going to take the flag. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to change my scenarios based on the news and the thought processes outside. Amen. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I see Bitcoin moving back now to the 21-day moving average, and then hopefully this pump can continue. We do not want to lose the 200 MA on the 1 hour. If that happens, I will flip bearish. I'd like to see the daily hold above the 200 MA, but that looks like it may not happen. So far, so good, though. We're going to stay above it. If we stay above it, my trade will fly. If we lose it, I'll be back to battling the 200 MA again. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens. But you got to wait for the big bucks if you want to make the big bucks, baby. So I could not chime in, though. I was in my nephew's final hockey game of the season. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I hope you had a good time. Watching hockey is the best. So, yeah, I see the 1 hour pulling back like it is. So congrats if you sold the local top there. Like I did on the scalp there on BITUNIX. Exactly. How do you take a little bit of profits on Mexi if you don't want to sell the whole thing? It's very similar to Weeks or BITUNIX. You just go down to the bottom and write a percentage, and then you can sell a percentage. You can even do it on the right side. Yeah. Let me see here. How to take a partial over here. Let me get a partial. Let me get a partial over here, bro. All right, so say you were in a trade. Let's see here. Like a USDT trade, right? Sol USDT is free too right now. So say you were in this trade, you want to sell a small amount of it. You go up here and just drag a little bit, hit the close button and sell a percentage. But you go here too. This is like, you know, and you can go quantity and say, I just want to sell like 50%. Price, hit last and hit close long. And you'll sell a small percentage. Yeah. Very simply done. Okay. So Bitcoin likely to fall back slowly after the nice weekly close and some liquidity on a Sunday night. Again, don't make Sunday night your favorite night to trade. It usually isn't the best night to be trading, so be careful on a Sunday night. If you had a Matic bag, what would you dump for it? I mean, I would never tell you what to do with your money, Johnny. But God bless you, my friend. I do have a Matic bag. I still hold it, but I get it. It's lackluster and sad. I might buy Cake with it, man. Cake seems like it's on a tear recently. You know, Cake may be doing numbers sooner than later, but only time will tell. Let's see what's cracking tonight. You know, all coins, they're going to be jittery. Until Bitcoin really gets that sauce, all coins will be jittery. They'll be somewhat back and forth. A few will get some love. You'll get some pumps here and there. Mubarak continues to do well, which is awesome. I like seeing that during this holy month. AVAX, Ethena, Solana. I mean, a nice bunch punch back for some good alts. Aptos back in the game. Pancake Swap, right? We went over that. Near Protocol, XDC. Fat Coin, dude. Up 78% in 7 days. Ain't bad. That's not really like one of the biggest winners in the last week. Is Farcoin's number one. And Pancake Swap in this form. Hype getting back up there. Render getting back up there. Again, there's like 4 coins I believe the DCA into were the best, which is like Solana, SWI, you know what I'm saying? Like just the bigger ones. Solana, SWI. I like Bitcoin, Solana, SWI, and if you had to, for me, I didn't even mind SAI, but I think it was, to me, they're a little out there. Like Near, I love it, but I think it's a little out there at this point. Once the market shows strength, yes, Chainlink is something that I would pick up fearlessly. Does Toncoin have some more gas in the tank? And that's a good question for a lot of people. Let's take a look. Ton. So it pumped recently. The 2-hour looked good. We never got the love though. We never got the follow through on the low stochastic. It actually just kept going sideways even longer, which is kind of treachery now, if you think about it. So I'm going to look at it on the 4-hour here. I mean, it almost looks like it's making a diamond, right? Which isn't amazing. But right here, I mean, you could say, well, this is a symmetrical triangle. They mainly have been breaking to the downside, but it's been in an uptrend. I think it might be able to get a bit of a pump here. Measured move takes you to 3.3 or all the way up to 4. Interesting. So not a huge risk reward ratio either, but I'd watch it closely. Chance you do get the pump up to 4 out of this kind of a shoulder, head right shoulder. If Bitcoin gets the love and the market gets to breathe, then boom. You see what I'm saying? 85.7 is great for Bitcoin on a volatile Sunday night. Remember that. Like, this is a beautiful thing. An absolutely beautiful thing. So the next black swan is now priced in. Yeah, funny. I mean, we never know for sure when the next black swan is in. That's why it's a black swan. Right? But so far, so good. I'll tell you that. Right? Shout out to Noah Brown with the $6.99. Can we get exclusive Sam Price freestyle tonight? It's not just at want you say. It's not just AT want to say you the man. Thank you. God bless you, man. If not, just want to say you're the man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Yeah. Hey, Sam, I've been watching every day for the last half a year, and you've truly blessed my life. Was running about the CME gap on the daily we have and how it could affect tomorrow's price action. Chance we could dip into it, for sure. A lot of times we do. Cup and handle on the 1 hour forming. Yeah, I've seen that. Ada, please. We looked at that. And do you have a Matabay? Yeah. Shout out to everybody that gave a super chat. May God bless you all. That's very, very nice of you. Come back to you tenfold. Blessings on blessings to be alive, right? So yeah, Bitcoin coming back down to the 21-day moving average as suggested. A little steeper than we'd want, but it's okay. And it could still bounce here and make a flag. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. We just want to see that 21 touch. And then we know we can get back. And why? It's just what I backtested over years and years, and I stick to it. Right? You'll understand if you use it as much as me, but you have to put in the work. You could trust me and keep doing it, but you got to also, over time, it'll show you what it's shown me. The lessons will be derived from the experience. That is wisdom. See, people have intelligence, but wisdom is intelligence. Wisdom is experience and intelligence. Like having the time to have the experience and the intelligence, and then wisdom is created. So you need time on this earth for wisdom. It doesn't come with just intelligence. It takes time. All right, that's the key. Nilion, something people keep talking about a little bit on the radar there. You might want to write it down. Up to you. Nilion. What's trending today? Redstone keeps trending. ZK Sync, ZK Layer keeps trending. Wormhole. Heroes of Mavia keeps trending. Oldie that we got into a long time ago. I like the Somia network, what it may be doing. Research it, it's hot. Egan Layer. Scroll back on the market. Arkham, one of my favorite holds. Story Protocol back at 556. And Hyperliquid back at 16. After a little bit of a dump lower than that. New coin, the Rumble Kong, AO Protocol, and a bunch of other nonsense. And then the top most visited coins in the last 7 days. Redstone, most visited. Rebor, visited. Incentive, very visited. Maybe airdrops coming. Sui, Solana, Nilion, Walrus, Cardano, Bubble Maps. People talking about it a lot. I keep seeing it around. We looked at it earlier today. Slingshot, Nilion. We talked about it just now. And Walrus. All right, these are the most searched. It doesn't mean, you know, they could come and go. They could be quickly looked at. They could be airdropping. You want to know a little bit more, but for the most part, it's pretty awesome, right? Like, you can see what people are looking at, what sites people are going to, and that's going to create traffic, which creates volume, which could create an opportunity. And so what the bulls are hoping for, too, is like, you know, maybe a bounce, and this is more of a sideways flag, which it very well may. And we just go nice and sideways. The 21 comes up, and it just looks prettier. And we get the beautiful bump to the upside. I call this the Twisted Sister. I don't know which one it's going to take, but I draw them both. It's either take the falling wedge or the sideways price action. The second a channel starts to go this way, we cut this one off. The second it goes that way, we cut that one off. It's quantum, baby. Very simple. And that's how I leave you with Bitcoin today, to watch the 1 hour time frame and how it interacts with the 21-day moving average. Preferably when the stochastics hit low in about 6 to 8 hours would be the next awesome trade for BTC. Again, only time will tell, and there's no guarantees at all. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, but it's just something that we could definitely look forward to watching for Bitcoin. So shout out to everybody that jumped on in and took profits, moved your stop loss to break even or into profits. If you did that, you took some gains with the lifer, and life should be good. And life should be good. If you're looking long term, don't stress it. Let it wiggle. Do what you got to do. And you know, it is what it is. With that being said, there's a couple other things I want to discuss that I believe are worth bringing up. Now, the XRP ETF. Now, I know I look at the charts, but that is some pretty big news. You would think it would spike the price of XRP or give it some type of love here, and XRP is getting tighter and tighter in this wedge. So it looks like we're about to see some type of movement for XRP. Also leaking some ideas about Swift and XRP, which, you know, may or may not be completely true, but seems to be the case. If it did come back and retrace or retest 265, I mean, it's likely definitely pumping to 337 and basically back to that high, that all-time high of this cycle. It looks bullish. Shoulder, head, right shoulder above the 200 MA. It looks to me that XRP is going to break out and it's going to continue to pump. So it's looking bullish to me. Stop loss below 217 looks like a clean cover. Again, you never know. Anything could happen, but it looks interesting. All right. And then someone's yelling there about Moonwell and some agent for Moonwell. All right. Moonwell's in a very tight channel that looks like it's going to break out sometime soon. Last time it got in something tight like this, it did do some damage. If Bitcoin holds the zone and starts to pump, I mean, all these little coins are going to get the relief pump of their life. This one could get it 43% all the way back to 0.325. I would definitely watch Moonwell as it gets tighter and tighter on the radar here. Going under the operation table tomorrow. Let us know the 99 what to trade so I have a good gift when I wake up. Shout out to Matt Vieno. I love you, man. I hope your operation goes well. May God bless you on a swift and healthy recovery, and may everything that you're getting on operation for be treated and be done great. And may God protect you through all the process. Amen. Amen. Shout out to Journey with the King, with the Crypto King. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Bellico X. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Clanker's hot too. We'll take a look at Clanker because it keeps showing up on my radar as well. So I appreciate you saying that. Clanker is something to look at. I love when I'm looking at something and someone reminds me. The stream is definitely quantum. Yeah, but watch Moonwell. It looks like it's getting tighter and tighter for sure. All right, I want to take a look at Clanker. And there it is too, right there, token bot, right? I mean, similar to price action right there, right? For Moonwell, this looks very similar. And they're going to be, you know, DeFi protocols, right? Like lending and borrowing and all sorts of fun stuff. This looks bullish to me. And it's getting tighter in the zone. High risk, high reward, because, you know, anything can happen these days with Bitcoin. And we're all kind of on pins and needles. But Bitcoin breaks a key level, starts to give some air to the fact that this market's not done. Altcoins are going to rip again like you wouldn't believe. And they're going to rip even harder because people are going to go like extra hard back into them because they're going to be like, oh. And then there's going to be the latecomers. They're going to go even harder. And there's going to be so much short liquidations. It's going to be crazy. Only time will tell, but this definitely looks interesting to me too. CLANKER, they could both dump though. Be careful of, Monday trading. Just, it could be sketchy. But I do like CLANKER, and we've been watching it for a while now. It's on Token Metrics radar. It's there on crypto.rank, and I'm seeing it a lot too. CLANKER looks interesting to me. And I'll be doing other scans too as well throughout the night into tomorrow to find out what altcoins are hotter than hot sauce. And we'll get to it like we always do. And when the time is right, it will be all altcoins all the time, just when the time is right. Time's got to be right. Understanding becomes knowledge, and knowledge becomes wisdom. Full circle. Amen. Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin seems to like the 800s. 85.8 may hold. You never know. As I said, just watch how that 21 interacts. If the 1 hour loses it, we short. If not, we stay sideways. If we don't get back above the 21, if we go sideways and make the perfect flag, then we pump. Then we trade it. I know exactly what to do based on what the 1 hour gives us, and I'm ready to go. And I've done it so many times that I'm just ready for that exact cycle again, and I'll play it over and over again. We're ready to go in the group. I'm so locked in this week. We're going to have one of our best weeks of trading ever. I can feel it. We are the opportunity. Together, we're going to have it. It's ours, man. This week is ours. If you didn't make money last week, if you didn't make money the week before, we've been nailing it in the trading group. So I've got a firm confidence that I'm going to do it again this week because I'm going to trade my plan and plan my trades, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to stick to the sauce, and I'm going to hit it. I just know it. And I can't wait. So I'm excited, and you should be too, because it's been an amazing journey, an amazing run, and there's so much opportunity around us because guess what? We're the opportunity, and it's not the other way around. We don't have to chase opportunity. When we believe we're the opportunity, don't you understand? All right. I'm going to do this one more time. And there's two guys that are playing in the minor leagues, and they get called up because they get a chance to play in the majors. How they play in those next few days depends on if they get to stay in the majors or called up a few more times to see what happens. One guy goes in thinking, my dad got in, it happened to him, and he fluked. He didn't do well. And I'm probably going to fluke just like my old man because I'm just, that's who we are. We're not winners. I'm a loser. Another guy goes in there, has no preconception of what could happen. But, he knows that everyone that he believes in has believed in themselves and gotten somewhere. He read a book about, mental stability, and he talked about how he has to keep his mind right. And he's like, you know what? I believe I deserve to be in the major leagues. He works hard all the time. He doesn't take days off. He puts in so much more work. He says, when everyone else leaves the gym, I go extra hard for an extra half an hour. When everyone leaves practice, I stay for an extra half an hour to hit balls. I always do more than everybody else. I know I do. So I know I deserve more. I deserve to get into this major league. I've been working so hard. Who do you think's going to get into the major leagues? Which guy? The person with his mind right, his focus right, his discipline right, or the guy who thinks he can't make it because his dad never did? Right? So with that being said, okay, you're in control all the time. So so basically one guy thinks he's the opportunity and one guy doesn't. Am I right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. This guy believes that he is the opportunity, that he's worked hard, that the opportunities will come to him because he deserves them, because he's prepared so hard for them that he knows, and he compares himself to everyone else. He doesn't have to, but he says, hey, when everyone else leaves the gym, I'm there extra hard. Like, you know? So when he looks back on how much he grinded, it's like, yeah, I should be getting the most out of this. I should win. I should be getting into the major league. I should be able to have an impact on this game today. So the whole point of this is you are the opportunity. And the second you start believing that, the second you will be. It'll switch pretty fast. Like the universe will turn on, life will flip. Next thing you know, it'll be like, wow, your belief in yourself will create this opportunity that you never thought. Opportunities will come you'll be chasing you. You won't be chasing them anymore. And it sounds cliche, it sounds like a fable, but it's not. This is a real idea here. But the problem is most people hear this in my voice and they think it's a lie, so they don't do it. And therefore, right, they don't ever get the benefit. I was that person for years. I didn't believe in this stuff. I listened to it, heard it, but thought it wasn't real. I really started to use it in my life and slowly saw my life change. And then when my life changed on a massive scale from looking back, I said, wow, that all started from small mental changes that I made. Those small mental changes create big habits, small habits that I slowly edged forward, which created a big routine that I built more habits on, which created a life of focus and abundance, which I now have gratitude for every moment of my life. And now I have gratitude when I wake up. I have gratitude when I go to sleep. I had gratitude throughout the day. I sat with my wife driving today and I said, man, I love my daughters. I said, I'll remember this time for the rest of my life, being with my 3 girls in the car with my girls, my 4-year-old, my 10-year-old, and my 6-month-old girl, and my beautiful wife, you know. The guy dropped us off. He said, you have a beautiful family, you know. And I said, I'll remember these days for the rest of my life. I said, I said to my wife, I said, you know, ever since my parents died, everyone says we forget to live in the moment. I said, no, I really live in the moment, babe. I smell the air. I said, I know this moment will pass. I know I won't always have these Sundays with my girls. You know, I saw an old guy ride his bike past and go into a park. And I said, you know, one day you'll probably go out with your girlfriends. We'll be in our 50s. Our kids will have left. It'll be 18 years from now, right? 20 years from now, I'll be 62, I guess. And I'll probably because I hope, you know, I'll always like riding my bike and being outside. And I'm sure God, you know, I hope God keeps me healthy enough in my eyes and, you know, my senses. And I'll go for a bike ride, you know, and my girls won't live with me anymore. And I'll come home and I'll probably like close my eyes and remember my 4-year-old running up to me and kissing me. And those days will be gone. Cherish your family. Cherish your kids. Cherish your life. We do this Bitcoin thing all day long. We make our gains. We do the altcoins. We have a blast. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But man, cherish your life. All the guys and girls out there. Every moment you spend, man, get the most out of it. Be the best dad you can for your kids. Be the best husband you can for your wife. Don't waste time in anger. Throw anger away. You don't need anger. Anger will only push people away from you and isolate you. You need love. You need to stay calm. You need to take a deep breath. You need to have a moment. You need to always know that it's not that serious and it's going to be okay. You know? And I talk to myself in this way every day. And you know, Jim Rohn talks about we vision who the best version of ourselves would be. If you ever had a situation where you didn't say something you should have, or you didn't handle it right. You know, I had one recently and I look back on it and I was like, I could have handled it in a really classy way. But it wasn't the worst, but it could have been better, right? And I said to myself, so, you know, and I listened to these self-help Jim Rohn and Neville Goddard, and they said, you know, picture how the best version of yourself would have handled that situation and relive it. And then the next time you're in a situation like that, you're going to live it the best way and you're going to show that's who you are. You know what I mean? And we're always working on ourselves. We're always grinding, always pushing ourselves. But the whole point is be the best you can around your family and friends. You know, spread light, love, and happiness. Show them that that's the way so they feel the same. And then they'll do the same way. They'll live a life of abundance. And cherish every moment that you have with your kids if you have kids. And tell everyone in your life that you love them. And I just got to remind everybody, man, because you just never know. You never know when your life's not going to be the same as it is right now. I got two big wake up calls for me in the last 2 years and I'll never be the same. And every day I live with the pain that reminds me of how much I have to live in this moment. And again, I can't live in the pain that much either, because if I spend too much time in that pain, I won't be here for my kids. I got to be right here, right now. And I tell everyone, if you got a lot of stress right now and you're going through a lot of stress, it's usually, because I used to do this to myself. So the main reasons you're going through stress right now, there's two main reasons. One is you're reliving a lot of past emotions that have stressed you out and you haven't dealt with them correctly. So they keep revisiting and you keep replaying them and you keep replaying them and you think about them a lot. And because you think about them a lot, you behave in a way, they affect how you behave today. And so your habits and the way you act, the way you behave, even in this day and age, is a tentative, basically reproduction of these bad thoughts that you're having. You know, people are hurt by people, so they don't go out and date, and they don't meet anybody, and they stay alone and isolated because they think everyone's going to hurt them, right? That's a simplified version of what happens to a lot of people. So that's the main reason you're in the past. We got to get you out of the past and into the present. Second reason most people are stressed, they're in the future. They're worried about what's going to happen. You have no control over it. I have to go live every single day for the next month, every day. I mean, I don't have to, but that's the plan, right? That's like how I'm Sammy, who never takes a day off, right? That's overwhelming, don't you think? If someone told you had to do something every single day for the next 30 days, no days off, no, I think you'd be a little like, whoa, can I get like a moment here? But I don't think like that. All I say is tonight I go to sleep, tomorrow I wake up, and I handle tomorrow. I handle right now. Today I have a good night's sleep. I do the right thing in the show, so I have another show tomorrow. I don't bomb the show, right? I did a good job tonight, so we have fun tomorrow, right? So the point is, you stay in the present moment in time, and somehow, some way, you're able to get into and that's how you progress. And look at your life. And then another way that I think about it, and I've said this before on the channel, maybe 10 or 20 times, but look at your life like you're basically building a stone house out of brick, or a house out of big square stones. And you're stacking them, and they stack. And you're building. If you spend all your time thinking about all the things that you didn't do in your life, and you pick up the stones, I'm probably going to ruin this, then you probably aren't going to do a great job of the house. And if you think about what's going to happen in the future, well, it's probably not going to get built right. It's not going to look good. I don't know why. You're probably not going to move. But if you just sit there and stay in the present and put brick by brick, you're going to have something to live in eventually. You're going to have a house to look at. But you can't live in the past, and you can't live in the future. You got to live in the present moment. Your life is an actual little stone house you're building every day. My YouTube channel is a stone house I'm building every day. I can't worry about what's going to happen to it weeks from now, and I can't stress of what we did in the past. I can learn from them, and I can keep pushing every single day. There's nothing else I can do. Amen. All right. So I just wanted to kind of, if you're stressed out, it's usually because you're in the past or the future, and you're not staying present. I stay in the present moment in time when I start to get racy thoughts, when I start to get overwhelmed, when I start to kind of think too much, and I say, wow, look at my girls. Like, look how grateful I am to be with my kids right now. And I slow down, and then I use gratitude to slow down, love to slow down, and it resets me. And I believe you me, for me to do what I do every single day on a high stress life with Bitcoin and the live stream, and again, I have to have a bunch of tools to be able to stay level headed and low, because if I don't have those tools, I won't make it to the stream, and we won't hit. It won't be the same stream. Amen. So blessed to everyone that listens to my spiels here while they wait for good TA or TA, whatever. But, I told you we were going to get a move back to the downside here for Bitcoin, and we did. Back to the 21-day moving average here is very likely. A little steeper than I'd like it to be, but it's, it is what it is on a Sunday night. Heavy volatility on a Sunday night. I never saw 87,000. I guess, I don't know where they saw, where that, maybe it was earlier in the week. Oh, yeah, it was. Okay, yeah. I was like, the weekly candle had it. I'm like, so at this point, you can really usually delete this. I mean, it could be a deeper one, though, that bounces. I've seen this. No guarantees just yet. It could bounce there. It's a Sunday night. If it loses the 200 MA, it's like it just dump. It's a wrap, right? This is a bear flag and it's starting to dump. And that was just a quick little, which could be possible. All right. Shout out to everybody here, man. God bless you all. We're all part of a bigger version of the world, right? Like if we do good for others, then the world will do good for us. You reap what you sow. The Bible tells you so, man. What you think, and it's a fact. Think about it. You're the energy you keep. We all know this. You don't have to listen to anyone else. Common sense says you are what you have, right? I am what I am, right? Well, God was saying that. Maybe I realized what he said there. I don't know, but he says, I am what I am. I think he was telling you that you are what you are. Your thoughts create you, right? I am what I am. So like, if you think you are, therefore you are, like you're in charge of what you are by your thoughts. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's exactly what the whole point was there, but I am what I am, right? Yahweh. So, and did you lose the 1 minute? Yeah, I see the 1 minute did lose the 200 MA there, but not too bad. A little sloppy move though, right? Shout out to Uncle Jesse in the house. Lost the 1 minute. Yeah, new moon coming on the 29th. We crashing. It could, Yeah. I think, that's Nietzsche as I think before that. Therefore I am. That's Nietzsche. Yeah. Meaning that consciousness creates basically he was saying that without consciousness, he was saying this. This was a really interesting concept that Nietzsche put out. All right. And it was a book actually I read recently. But he was saying there's the earth and, the moon shines above it. And I'm a conscious being. The light goes into my eyeball, hits my brain. And then inside of my brain, I have a thought that the moon is shining, right? Now I tell everyone else, we all see it together. We're all in the world and we consciously see the moon. And so the moon exists because we consciously see it, right? But it also exists physically. But what the book said is if it didn't exist consciously in our minds, did it even exist physically? And some would say, yes, it did. And you say, okay, fine. Then no one lives on Earth and there's no humans on there, but the moon's still there shining. It doesn't exist anyway because if no mind sees it, then it doesn't exist. Like if no one's there to talk about it, then it doesn't exist. I mean, it could physically exist, but does that matter? No, because it doesn't really truly exist then because no one's there to see it. So the point was that even though something is physical, the mind interprets it through the eye, into the brain, and into the conceptual brain, and that's where the moon exists. And, you could take that as far as you want, and there's a whole book, I think it's called I'll have to get the name of the book for you. And we're going on a tangent tonight because Bitcoin's just sliding back to the 21-day moving average. Just kind of going sideways here. Kind of head right shouldery too, though. But I would be looking for the 1 hour time frame to come back to the 21-day moving average and reset the stochastics RSI. RSI is also a bit high too on the 1 hour time frame, which isn't the best. That may say we come back down, right? But only time will tell. On this beautiful, what is it, a 68 degree night, mostly clear. That's awesome, brother. Happy to hear your weekend is going great. Day off myself, family fun day. Amen. God bless you, brother. I spend Sundays with my girls, man. Every Sunday is for my girls. That's my thing. I spend it, from 11 to 6, those 7 hours at least, maybe even from sometimes in the morning, as much as I can, but at least 8 straight hours with my girls, man. I spend a lot of time with them anyway, but So remember, look for this to flag out, go sideways. If it becomes a nasty dump, it goes down. We'll likely just bounce off the bottom and come back up. But if we lose the 200 MA, look for a bearish retest and a bear flag, and that means we are bearish. And we could likely go further to the downside. What's happening right now, though, which isn't great, is the daily is attempting to give up the 200 MA. I'd like to see that not happen. That would be preferably a more bullish sight, that we do not give up the 200 MA so fast this time, we actually stay above it. That task will be to the 1 hour. If the 1 hour can just flag out and not get too bearish here, it'd be nice if it bounces, throughout the night and goes sideways like this. And then we get a bounce on out. 21 comes up to touch us. We get like a shallow reset on both of the RSI and the Stokes, and boom, we're gone, baby, gone. That's the most bullish scenario. That's what I would love to see, and parabolic move out. But again, we may dump. We may lose the 200, and it may be nasty. I'm open-minded for both scenarios, and I can identify what will happen by while we play the 1 hour 200 MA. Right there. That'll teach us. So we're set. We're in good spot. All right. But dang, already back to 85.5, baby. And we were just at 86.6, and that's how Bitcoin rolls, man. And that's why you move that stop loss into break even or into profit like I did there, especially on a Sunday night. Especially on a Sunday night. Everybody, I love you. I'm going to jump on out of here. There's not much more I can say for BTC. May God bless each and every one of you on this wonderful Sunday night. Thank you for being here on March 23rd. And here we go. One more week, baby. Shout out to everybody here, and we head into April. Not too shabby. Quarter one is almost over, which is crazy. I can't believe we already went through quarter one. 2025 just started. We're already a quarter through. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I have a haircut by the time I go live again, but probably not. My hair's just growing off the side here. But I love you all. I thank you so much for being a part of the greatest live stream on earth. And you guys helped me make this amazing. May God bless everybody on the live. I didn't get a chance to look at the likes or the watchers. I was so into the stream. It was awesome. But we have 609 likes. God bless you all. Thank you so much. $38 in chat revenue. And we'll be back tomorrow for another amazing, awesome, and kick butt live stream. Thank you so much for the weekly close. Oh, one thing I want to look at, actually, I'm so sorry. We just have to make sure we're ready for the week ahead on Forex and just see what's happening. So we're ready, right? So let's see it. Let's break it down. So next week is going to be the week of March 23rd to the 29th. Monday looks pretty flat. Flash PMI, blah, blah, blah. FOMC bar, nothing too crazy, right? Tuesday, boom, boom, boom. Yep. USD, CB consumer confidence, new home sales. We'll see what that says. It's orange, though. It's not too bad. Wednesday, we're good to go. FOMC crude oil inventories. Interesting. And then Thursday, we have unemployment claims coming in at 8:30. So that will sway the market. Thursday at 8:30, put a sticky. And then we have personal income month over month and personal spending as well. Friday at 8:30. So Thursday and Friday at 8:30 will be our kind of like swing, our crazy swings that could happen in the market. So we have unemployment and personal spending and income month over month. So check those out. Friday and Thursday at 8:30 on the week. That's also something we gotta be careful about. Get a sticky, put them on your desk, and write it down. I'm telling you, the stickies work. Everything else doesn't seem to work for me. The stickies are right there, and I see them all week, and I'm ready. May God bless you all. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Monday morning, ready to rock. I'll see you in the trading group bright and early. Go to CryptoLifer.com if you want to start your week off right with me, bright and early. CryptoLifer.com. May God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.